Hey everyone, it's Dr. Reams here. So I'm going to show how to work the 4 muscles of the abdomen, okay? So most people know the rectus. That's that 6-pack ab. It kind of goes from up near our ribs down to our pubic bone, runs that way. What very few people know, but still know more than the other ones, are the obliques, right? Kind of that V muscle. What more people pay attention to is what's called the external obliques. So that's what creates that V. But we do have internal obliques as well, okay? We can't forget those. Those really help with the diaphragm, resisting against that. The one that no one really truly knows about, except for PTs most of the time, is the transverse abdominis. This is our own personal corset. You know when we get that little pooch down here and we get really frustrated? A lot of the times it's because of a weakness with the transverse abdominis, or those people who have that like separation in the abdominal muscles, that diastasis recti. That is a weakness in the transverse abdominis, okay? TA is what I often call it because transverse abdominis is a mouthful. So today I'm going to show you how to work the rectus, okay, in a good way, besides just sit-ups. The external obliques to get that nice V, the internal obliques, and the transverse abdominis. These are the basic exercises. We can always advance, but this will give you something to work with, okay? The first one I want to show you is the transverse abdominis. It's the deepest layer. And again, it's the one that few people really truly know how to work well, but when it works well, it accentuates the rest of the abs. So we want it working well, okay? It's also best friends with the pelvic floor. They work together to help with incontinence. If you had a tram flap or one of the deep abdominal flaps, they cut through this, okay? Making it very difficult. If you had a C-section when you had children, any abdominal surgeries whatsoever, this is cut through and makes it even more weak. So we really, really, really want to pay attention to this. So I'm going to lay on the floor. I'm going to show my belly a little bit. Okay, well, my pants are covered up, but still. Okay, so the transverse abdominis goes from our spine and wraps around this way, and like I said, acts as a corset. So to activate it, where you can see the most movement, it really goes the whole way, but where you can really see and feel it is kind of down here. So if my hip bones are right here, I'm just on the inside of them, okay? So I just kind of pretend like I'm zipping up my pants and tighten this muscle. Notice I'm not holding my breath. I'm still talking. I'm not poofing out my belly. Nope, I'm just tightening it. Think of when you take a picture in your bikini, how you just kind of tighten the abdomen muscles and look all nice and small, right? That type of thing. The other way you can kind of get it if you're having trouble with it is if you make the shh sound. So if you go shh, right? That'll tighten right here. If you keep your hands on that part, you should not feel it puff up. Again, I'm exaggerating, okay? But even if it puffs up a little bit, you don't want that. You don't want it sucking in. You want it just tightening, okay? So the very first thing is just to kind of get that tightening down, okay? And then if you can, tighten that. Let one knee fall to the side just about halfway. I don't want it all the way to the floor. I want tighten, knee fall about halfway, nice and slow. Bring it back up. Keep this strong. Let the other knee fall to the side. Bring it back up, all while breathing. I kept talking the whole time, right? I'm still breathing. Okay? So then I can relax. So when I tighten again, knee halfway to the floor. Notice my hips do not move. I do not want this motion at all, okay? Strong TA, half hip in a nice slow motion, half hip in a nice slow motion, come back, then relax. Try and do that 20 to 30 times. If you need breaks, take breaks, okay? Alright, so that's the transverse abdominis. Really, that one should stay strong when working any of the other ones because it really helps stabilize, okay? So keep that in mind. Once you learn how to turn that one on, try and use it when you're doing other exercises as well, because that's what helps keep your belly from puffing up and creating kind of that tenting. Okay? So the next one is the internal obliques. It kind of sits right here. It helps with some side bending. So my favorite one for this is if you take your hands down by the side, do just a little bit to get your shoulders off. Notice I'm not driving my chin here, and I'm not just rounding here, okay? I kind of just lift up my core. You try and tap your heels alternately. Now, if I didn't have my TA strong, my belly would look like that. Not very good, okay? Tighten that TA, my belly looks like this. Much better. So now I'm getting a TA workout and an internal oblique workout. Okay? Notice I'm still talking, I'm still breathing, never, ever, ever holding my breath. Okay? Again, 20 to 30 of those. Take breaks when you need them. Okay? If you start to feel like you're cheating, right? So you're kind of like rolling to the sides, take a break. It's not worth it. All right, external obliques, those nice V's. My favorite one for this is called a Russian twist. Okay? Well, so if you can see my legs, starting off, tapping your toes, or even if you need to, feet flat, okay? Tightening that TA, right? So nice drawing. Mine's not the prettiest right now, I apologize. I just did an hour walk with my dog, so I'm a little tired. So drawing that TA, we're gonna try and tap side to side, okay? Easiest with feet flat on the floor, more difficult with feet up. You can get a weight, a bottle of water, a can of soup, gallon of milk, whatever you feel will help you. Again, that TA should be drawn in. No poofing out the belly, okay? So that looks like this from this angle, okay? I'm twisting my whole shoulders. I'm not just going here, right? Okay. The rectus. So that's the six-pack ab muscle. This one, to get your upper abs, crunches are a good way to do that, but I'm really picky about this if people have a weak core in the other spots. Okay, so what I would suggest is if you want to do crunches, you tighten that TA and just lift up just enough to get your shoulders off. Okay, I'm not doing a full sit-up. I'm just engaging these upper muscles, keeping my TA strong, so I'm not putting pressure here. When we put a lot of pressure through here, A, that strains the abdominal muscles, B, it strains the pelvic floor, and it makes it harder to breathe kind of like that, right? And so we want a good, strong, stable base here when we're doing stuff. That's why I'm so adamant about tightening that TA first, okay? So drawing that in, still breathing, okay? Just clearing my shoulder blades here. That's it. I'm not straining my neck, right? I'm not driving it to the ceiling. I'm not tucking the weight in, not letting it drop back. Just keeping it in line with my spine, okay? So that's one that can work there. I have to put my hands as like a diamond underneath my tailbone, just due to my sensitivity. If you can do it without, that's fine for this next exercise, but I do better here, okay? So if you can tighten that TA and drop your legs down, this is the easier version. Notice my back does not arch up off the ground. That's part of why I keep my hands behind my back. If I didn't have my hands behind my back, so you can see it, I'd kind of arch away. That's not doing me any good. So this, keep my back flat, okay? If you're good at that, straighten those legs, come down. You're only gonna go as far down as you can without arching off the ground. So that's here, okay? No causing other problems. There's no need to do it perfect right away, but that helps with some of that lower rectus. Sit-ups are not my favorite because they don't really get all the best action here, and most people cheat to do them, okay? Now, if you want to get the most bang for your buck, right? Planks, okay? So, tightening that TA, shoulder blades strong, chin tucked in a little bit so your spine is straight, okay? I don't want to see this, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see that, right? Nice and strong. If that's too much, drop to the knees. Again, spine should be straight. If all that's too easy, you come up on your hands, okay? Your wrists don't like that, you can go on your fists, okay? But that core is strong. That's going to work the TA. That's going to work the rectus. If you want to get those obliques involved, you drop and do twists, okay? I'm not the best at those. I apologize, right? Planks are great, but you must have a strong TA to do a good plank. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your back, okay?